Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Burden here with another episode. Well, stream, I should say, not episode. Of Final Fantasy XIV. Um, now, the audio quality may be a bit different. I'm having to use a different capture card because the one that I normally use, as you know, keeps disconnecting and it's annoying me. So, instead, what I decided to do is use a capture card that I'm currently using and have the stream audio play through my headphones. So, yeah. There's a bit of a different way to do it, I will admit, but it's the way things are. Right. Let's go ahead, get the link, and tell people. I do have a parcel on the way. Yeah, I might be done with the stream by then if I'm lucky. Yeah, I do have a parcel on the way, and hopefully I can get stuff done before it all arrives and everything. Right, last place to do stuff. To do my little promo. Okay. So, at the very least, what I'll do first is I'll show you around the brand new FC house. That's right. Within just a month, my FC managed to get its own FC house, as well as have it decorated. As you can see, we have some outside decorations. Got a little garden plot for growing stuff. Got a nice little hot bath there. And we've got our chocobo stable. Now, this has all been decorated by my partner, who is the co-leader. She has a knack for decorating, just as much as I do for when it comes to combat. In other words, a very good eye. Alright, so yeah, we've got two little indoor plants there. We've got this lovely bit of scenery in the middle, which I honestly love. Got a nice sofa here. We've got like a little kitchen area here, which I quite like. Got the FC chest, and then down here, got this lovely flooring and wallpaper I should say. Got some bookcases. We've got the Armorcraft Forge. We have our mender, which, let me just check, make sure none of my stuff needs mending. Nope, we're good. We have a couple of aquariums, a tier 3 and a tier 4, both containing spectral fish. The tier 3 is containing the spectral discus, whilst the tier 4 is containing the spectral megalodon. So yeah, we've got a couple of nice rare fish in there, which I really like, because we fished both of these up when we were doing some ocean fishing on our I think it was our first or second trip. You know, it's a little something to remember that by. We've got like a little work study area here with our posters from a couple of events. We've got this nice little like inside garden area, which I just absolutely love. We've got the summoning bell. We've got the crystal bell for the aesthetician. Yeah. We've got our goldsmith stuff. We've got blacksmith and woodworking benches. We've got like a Hakon in here. Sells all the furnishing and stuff, as well as just items in general, which is just food. And then we have our workshop, which, yeah. Speaking of which, how's our fabrication going? Ooh. So she just needs mithril plate and electrum ingots, stuff that I cannot make yet, sadly. But yeah, we're also in phase 2 of 3 for our Bronco hull. And once we get the airship completed, which will probably take a bit of time, we'll be able to actually do stuff. Now, as you can tell, there is probably a bit of delay in sound and stuff. I could just probably open up an app on my laptop and do the recording that way, but I don't know. I don't know. I might do that next week, see how it goes. Right. So one thing I want to do, me and my partner did discuss this. Factions, that one we want to keep. That's the one we want to disable. Because she did want to keep doing a bit of crafting stuff last night, so I'm just like, okay. So we do the crafting for you, and then we can get the we could get the heated battle for me for when I stream. Yeah. So if the audio is a bit like a slight bit delayed, yeah, it's because I'm doing it via my headset instead of through the capture card like normal. So I'm just sort of tinkering with the settings, seeing how it works and stuff. Because I'm using a capture card that doesn't mess about with me. The other thing is, PS5 doesn't fully agree with it. It doesn't want to come on the TV screen. So if I can't tell what's going to be a actual voice acted scene and, you know, one like this where it's normal, it'd be a pain in the ass. I don't even know how to pronounce that. The Chaosin's Fiend, I'm after? One of the so-called cardinal virtues, as folks are wont to call them. Former warriors of light, the esteemed heroes who saved the realm a century ago. Daryl Brandon was one of them, I'm told. Stop me if you've heard all this before. Anyway, like his comrade, Brandon died in the process, only to return relatively recently as a sin eater. The better to torment we few who survived their mercy, needless to say. I am to put an end to all that. You've heard the pitch, so what's the answer? You interested in hunting the Chaosin with me? Not a whit of hesitation. I like you, sinner. Nevertheless, I'll need you to humanly improve you're the dark hand I think you are, for my sake as well as yours. I've heard reports of stray eaters drifting close to the Quistarian. Come with me and put my mind at ease. Scene heaters were were sighted west of the Extension Gate, so we need to head through there before we begin our search. And if you happen to have any objections to killing eaters for sport, remember that many were once innocent people. We're doing them a favor putting them out of that misery. God, my mic seems to be going a little bit as well. This, I'm thinking I might need to get a new headset. If the mic fully goes. Alright, down you go. Oh, I'm going to... Yeah, I'll do. Now we're not so heavy on my ears when the music starts getting loud. To the person watching, welcome. Hello, ugly. Alrighty. Now that we've done that, so we've done the first mission. Going to the lower half of Kaluja. Jesus Christ. Okay, so he's a bit shook up. He'll be of no use. Where did you come from and what do you want with me? A bit of respect, please. A thrice damned eater, that's the spitting image of a gougent knight. Yes, that's what he's classed as in this area. Blimey. Tell me none of yous are good around here for information? Blimey. What's your connection to the village? I was born and raised in right. Lacking any real prospects, I eked out a living as a hunter. When I tried my hand at something more exciting, had I not also been trying to provide for the love of my life, Melinda. Oh, it was about a year ago that she accepted a commission from this Ulmoran trader. Bloke dealt mostly in antiques, and he had this bracelet in need of restoration. Bloody old with a questionable provenance, but supposedly it once belonged to royalty or some such. The Fangs of Orthrus, he called it. Me and her had been talking about tying the proverbial knot. Buying land, building a home, that sort of thing. Around here that might not take much, but it was still a lot more than what we had. So when the trader made his offer, she didn't hesitate to say yes. I'd gone down to the shipyards to pick up extra tools and materials she needed for the work. Quality stuff. But it'd pay for itself 10 times over. But when I got back to right. The Kaiasin had been busy. They spied at least a dozen newborn eaters fluttering about, trying to make sense of their new lot. The grandmother who lived next door and shared the fruits of her orchard was with us. The gruff woodsman who'd brought firewood to our doorstep in the dead of winter. Both of them reduced to mindless fiends just like that. There wasn't time to mourn or to think. I started looking for Melinda. And there she was, alive and well. Our eyes met, and we knew it was going to be alright. We ran for each other, and even now, a year later, it doesn't feel real. One moment she was there, right there in for them. And the next, she was... The Kaiasin knelt and took the fangs of Orthus, then left, leading a host of sin eaters out of White. But Melinda still couldn't see her as anything else. She wouldn't budge, she just hovered there and stared, waiting for me to end it. I could never say no to her, not once in the years we'd been together. For all the times she'd welcomed me home with a bowl of hot stew, all the time she laughed at my crude jokes and gave me counsel when I was losing my way. For all that and more, I killed her. I swore then and there I'd have my vengeance. The Kaiasin would die by my hand. I carved the scars in my flesh to mirror the ones he left on my soul, an enduring reminder of the vow that I never dare stray from the path. Then, all done. No need to wallow in it. I want my tragic yet trite tale to put you off our hunt. Still with me to the end, sinner? That's the spirit. Still have some unfinished business here. So if you could give me a moment before we resume, I would be most grateful. Damn, and I just thought he was dark and brooding for the sake of it. Turns out he actually lived a pretty miserable life due to that sin eating. Sorry to have kept you waiting, sinner. I'm sure you're eager to get back to it, as am I. Trouble is, in your absence, I've failed to turn up any information as to the whereabouts of the Kaiasin. There is one line of inquiry I've yet to pursue, though. The fangs of Orthus. The bracelet my beloved was supposed to restore, and that the Eater took with him when he left Right. Sin Eaters are mindless fiends driven only by base instinct. Everyone knows that. They've no need for worldly possessions. Yet the Kaiasin took the bracelet anyway, which can only mean that there's something unique about this particular antique, or the sinless bastard somehow different from the rest of his ilk. Either way, I think we need to learn more about the fangs of Orthus, and I know just the man to ask, the Yulmoran trader who commissioned Melinda's services. Much as I'd like to question him myself, though, I don't think that's an option. Even though the Kaiasin's attack a year ago is common knowledge, I doubt the trader will believe that an Eater stole his precious trinket. He's more likely to accuse me of theft and have me clapped in irons. So I'm afraid you'll have to go in my stead, Dante. Melinda said he was a regular at the Beehive, so try looking for him there first. Not the Beehive! I never did like the Beehive. Is this still the way it was? Yeah. And what do I owe the pleasure that is your company? The fangs of Arthas, you say? How very interesting. I should be glad to tell you everything that I know, under the assumption that should you recover it, you will see it to return to its rightful owner at once. I purchased the bracelet from a traveling peddler who claimed it was a relic of Velbert, a glorious kingdom that fell with the flood like so many others. He spoke true, from what I could tell, and I intended to sell it to a collector here for a tidy profit, after having it properly restored by artisan in right. Alas, she was one of several casualties of a sin-eater attack, during which the fangs of Arthas mysteriously vanished. I have, of course, been keeping in touch with several contacts on the off chance that the thief might attempt to sell it. They have not, regrettably. But a piece of similar design did recently surface in Mortsuk, I am told. I was planning to dispatch an agent to investigate, but you seem rather capable of fulfilling that role. As for incentive, you may be assured that any information that aids me in the acquisition of the Fangs of Arthas or similar relics will be well rewarded. I mean, at least he's not being a dick. He just thinks someone stole it, which is fair. So, what did our industrious patron have to say? So, he thinks it was stolen, eh? Just as well, we'd probably not know where to head next, if it wasn't for his distrusting nature. If this piece of similar design is related to the Fangs of Arthas, then it might attract Dicaius's attention, assuming it hasn't already. Let's go. Fine weather we're having today in Mortsuk, isn't it? Yeah, it's lovely. Well, the stars of our I love it. No such thing as a thing without value. That's the creed of these folk. We find no shortage of Volbertite trinkets here. Finding the right one, on the other hand, is the challenge. I say divide and conquer as before. Zin Zin! How you doing, buddy? Well met, well met. I might be of service to you. Oh, a chocolate that once belonged to Verbertite royalty, you say? Only I had such a remarkable treasure in my possession, but no, I do not. In all my years here, I have never even heard of someone on earth as such a thing. It's not even maybe I think it's fake. Yes, do you have business with me, traveler? Ah, the Volbertite choker. Is that what all this fuss is about? Think you're in luck, for my husband is yet to sell it. Once we realized how valuable it was, though, he insisted on carrying it with him at all times. If you're not willing to wait for him to return, you could try to find him at the rooms where he's scavenging for relics. We're not far. Might want to be careful scavenging for stuff around here, mate. Ah, to think it was that easy. You've the luck of the Fae. But we need to hurry. My theory is correct, and so long as that scavenger has the choker, he's a target for Dicaius. Oh, let's get to it then. Oh, someone's in trouble. No. Shame you missed the fun. This one bit off more than he could chew. Probably because it was a newborn. You could tell by the lingering vestiges of intelligence and so on. Concealed in their eyes. Like when decays. Don't tell me you saw him. Wicked white. And he tucked the choker too. Damn it! Damn it all! You can't keep getting away with it. It's just like right. It was too late to save him, just like I was too late to save her. But not again. I'll hunt you to the end of the world, Dicaius, and vengeance will be mine. Right, yes. Neither the time nor the place. Marita's could be about. That, and we should probably tell his wife, well, widowed wife. It's just, every time I cut one down, it reminds me of my first. Of her. Are we at least gonna tell the, well, the person that was his wife? She has a right to know. Be better than worrying about him all the time.
Hey there, Sinner. I broke the bad news to the widow of that scavenger while you were away. She took her about as well as you'd expect. After she'd cried herself hoarse, I started asking her about the choker and where her husband had got it. Since he and his mates took a trip to Omega a year or so back, hoping to card off all the Velvetite treasures they could carry from an untouched room they'd learned about. Of course, in their greed, they neglected to account for the Fae folk who killed or drove mad most of them. Those who survived didn't come away empty-handed, though. In fact, they'd stumbled upon a remarkable find. 3 sacred treasures of the royal family. They escaped with 2, the Fangs of Orthos being one of them, which was sold by another scavenger to a Yulmoran. Either that merchant you met at the beehive or an Asian, if was that wager. So the merchant gives it over to Melinda for restoration, after which Dicaiasin attacks Rent, presumably because he's after it as well. Meanwhile, the scavenger here in Motsuk keeps the choker, the Eyes of Orthos, locked away for safekeeping. When he finally decides to sell it, the sinless bastard shows up again. Which brings us to the here and now. Damned if I know why, but at this point there's no denying that Dicaiasin's been hunting the royal relics. And so assuming that he hasn't already claimed the third one, the Claws of Orthos, I say we should get our hands on it first and then use it to lure him out of hiding. But to that end, we'll have to venture into the fairy kingdom ourselves. Those scavengers didn't receive the warmest welcome, and we're not going to be treated any better. Have you now? And the little devils let you go? You can only assume they've taken a liking to you. And that settles it. We'll head to Omega and ask after this Velvetite ring. So yeah, if we didn't have Ilmeg unlocked, this would have been a bit of a block. Again, it's why I'm glad I waited till I had Ishtola back, because it unlocks most of the areas before doing this. What a remarkably uneventful trip. I kept jumping on shadows waiting for eaters of foul demons, or worse, to attack. Well, that might be preferable to the Fae, frankly. Still, we're going to have to deal with them eventually if we're going to find this ring. After all, the Numu were part of Velvetide society. And without their help, I'm not sure where to even begin our search. Perhaps there is a village of some sort you can guide us to. Pla NEA? Very well, lead on, sinner. Excuse me. Something about your demeanor bespeaks a question and ask. Have I the right of it? A ring that belonged to the royal family of Velbert, and it was called the Claws of Orthos. But Velbert is long gone. As are the caretakers of the ring you seek. You can say where it might have got to. there, you have questions for me? The Claws of Arthas? It is amusing. The name I have heard before, but I know nothing save that. Oh, Sulkul served the royal family before the flood. Somewhat temperamental they are. But surely they will have knowledge of this treasure you seek. Thank you. I just have a conversation off me. Learn anything interesting? So this Sul is the one we ought to speak with, eh? Former servant of the royal family, which would mean they've lived well over a century. Bugger me. Well, to be fair, they are Fae. What do you expect? They're pretty much immortal. The only way that they'd probably be able to die is if you decided to strike them down. Which I hope for the love of God you don't. After all, you've no reason to, so I doubt you will. I do not know you, yet you seem to know me. Well, a little gift is happening. A fifth was discovered yesterday. A young girl, not yet of age, transformed into a misshapen beast like the others before her. As if we needed more proof of a pattern. And this way, any citizen could be next. Tell me you at least learned something from this one. I studied Hermes myself. 'Twas plain a powerful magic had been employed. Vestiges of the enchantment lingered long after. The culprit, I think, is not a man to be trifled. That is all I can say for now, but you may rest assured that I will ascertain their identity ere long. On my honor as court mage, I swear it. Until I do, however, I would implore you and your fellow knights to dispatch any who turn or show signs without hesitation. But these are our kith and kin. Should we not try to keep them alive until a way to reverse their transformation can be found? Your mercy would place countless others at risk. As a knight of Volbert, did you not vow to save all her people? Justice for the weakest among us, was it not? How many such innocents will die before you do what must needs be done? It pains me deeply, Brandon, but the safety of the royal family is paramount. I fear that to take anything less than the most drastic measures would be to invite death into this castle. Death is already here, surely you must see that. I will not let it be whispered that Princess Saldir turned a blind eye to her people's suffering. These crimes are a tragedy that weighs upon every Volbertite soul, mine most of all. That is why I will take charge of the investigation myself. My lady, be reasonable. You cannot put yourself in harm's way. You have a responsibility to your subjects. So I am to gamble with their lives instead? Let them shield me while I alone take shelter and look down on them from on high? Yes, exactly. You are their princess. You are Brandon, yes? The new recruit? A rather promising one from what the captain has told me. You will attend me personally. My lady? You heard me. I will not stand idly by when I have the power to make a difference. Together we will see justice done for all, as your vow and your princess demand. Lady Sordia, I understand. Forgive me my hesitation. My life and my sword are yours to command. I have great expectations for you. I trust you will not disappoint me. Right, there is no telling when our culprit will strike again, so we must begin our investigation at once. There are witnesses to be questioned, clues to be gathered. Come, come. Now, Lady Sordia? Lady Sordia! Even ever the stubborn child. I wish you the best of luck, Brandon. You will need it and more. Hey, are you alright? The way you were holding your head, as if racked by a terrible pain. What happened to you just now? Lady Sordia? You saw her with your mind's eye. Then it is as I suspected. You have the gift too. You are like Brandon. What do you mean he's like Brandon? Why have you come to me? What is it that you seek? I see. And for this hunt of yours, you have come to Ilmeg in search of the claws of Orthrus? I'm afraid this is no simple matter. First, I would know that you are capable of facing the eater you seek. There is a spot in a river not far from here in which I used to bathe, till another beast grew equally fond of it. If you are the warrior you claim to be, they should pose no challenge whatsoever. As for you, I have questions. So Brandon used to serve the royal family. Interesting. Let's see what else we'll be able. Let's see what else we'll be able to learn. Da, 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 da. Dark Regions. Oh, that's really down. The beasts are no more. Good, good. I had a heart to do with myself, for they were no ordinary beasts, but old friends who survived the flood, victims of the curse you heard us speak of in your vision. So this curse transforms people into monsters, like how sin eaters can spawn more of their own kind. I will speak no more of this or other matters until you have completed the task I set before you. This is not negotiable, Godson. Dante accepted my terms, and so must you. So secretive, the both of you. Can't we all just speak plain? Your comrade refuses to acknowledge his situation. This may take time, but I am patient indeed. I have dealt with many a stubborn child in my life. Exemplary timing that day. It was not more than a moment ago that grandson returned, having at last obliged my humble request. Humble request, my ass, this was no better than a Umorian aristocrat. So accustomed to making others do their bidding. I tell you, there's something off-putting about taking orders from a dog. Ere you continue giving me cause to reconsider aiding your hands, perhaps you should ask your questions. Fine. Dante said he saw a vision of Brandon looking thicker. A vision of you and Brandon looking thick as thieves. You were friends, eh? Know what he's up to now? Brandon is dead. He died a century ago together with his comrades in an attempt to halt the flood that they themselves set in motion. I presume you speak of the eater that took possession of his corpse. The Chiasin, aye. But unlike most eaters, he's been doing more than roam around aimlessly. For some reason, he's been hunting down royal treasures of old Rembrandt, and he's been killing anyone who got in his way. You see now, huh, what irony. Even in death, even is a slave to duty, a knight brave and true. He's a murderer, and I'll not hear it said otherwise. He ruined my life, killed my beloved right before my very eyes. Every night I go to bed dreaming of the day I'll take my revenge. Oh, I see. Truly you have suffered a terrible loss. But while your thirst for vengeance is quite natural and understandable, it is ultimately misguided. Unusual behavior notwithstanding, the Chiasin is nevertheless no more than an eater. To hate him is to hate the sea that claims the ship, the disease that steals the child, the tremor that topples the home, the mindless force of nature that begets destruction, driven by fragmented memory. Don't you dare make excuses for him. You think I wanted any of this? I grew up on a farm. I could barely wield a sword, and now I've got to kill one of the bloody cardinal virtues. Hate and anger and vengeance are all I've got now. My every waking moment is dedicated to plotting his death. It has to be. So just tell us where the goddamned ring is and we'll be on our way. This is how it is. Has to be, Who you have to be? Nay, I think not. You ask too much, demand far, far too much, and in exchange for what? This I cannot abide. Are you trying to barter with me, you little shite? Tell me what I want to know, or I'll beat it out of you. Whoa, dude. Back off, Dante. I won't let anyone or anything stand between me and Melinda's murderer. Brandon was a dear friend. To know that an eater disgraces his flesh and his memory pains me more than I can well express. It would bring me great comfort if you were to grant him peace. I should like to share with you a story, if you'd be so kind as to join me in Gaia. Yes, I'd better have a point. Jesus Christ, grandson. Do you want to chill a bit and, you know, potentially not beat up the person that's trying to help us? He's only trying to warn you that your actions may be misguided. He's not saying that being full of anger and revenge is wrong. It's only natural that you'd feel that way, but it's definitely not the right way to go about things with this sort of thing. The Fey King's Palace. It is beautiful even now, a palace of forgotten dreams, but before it was Gaia, in the time of Volberg, it was Gruner's Licht. Memory of mine in which you walked was of a troubled time when the people of our kingdom were preyed upon by an ambitious fool. Excuse me. Brandon, then a young knight, who had only just won his spurs, had caught the eye of Princess Saltia, who chose him as her personal guardian. However, he was far too inexperienced, and was unable to keep her safe when she ventured outside these walls on one of her investigations. For his failure, he was stripped of his knighthood, and shortly thereafter he quit Volbert. I thought I would never see him again. But then one day he returned, one of several wandering adventures led by a man named Ardbert, who had accepted our invitation to look into the mysterious transformations, which had continued unabated in Brandon's absence. Lady Saldia was overjoyed, and for a time it was like nothing had changed. They spoke often and grew even closer. And then came the day when we learned the truth. When we learned that the architect of our kingdom's suffering was none other than the court mage Tadric. Another memory. It's him, Brandon. I'm sorry. So am I. Come, let's have it done. It was you, Tadric. Do not deny. Tormenting our people, twisting and transforming them into monsters. And for what? Brandon. And after I took such pains to be rid of you. You may strip me of my titles, but not my oaths. I shall serve Lady Solmia till my dying breath. As you like. Once I have killed you and your friends, there will be no one left to stop me from claiming the throne. Hear me, my children, the hour of reckoning is at hand. Rejoice, for in noble sacrifice shall you find everlasting glory. The Black Mages. Lord Tadric, it hurts. Soon you shall know no more pain. Oh god, they're like black versions of the Sin Eaters. What the hell? I was going to make it quick for all time's sakes. But now I think I ought to take my time. Oh, I have to play as it. Lovely. Beautiful. Oh, damn, I didn't realize I had died. Ooh. Alright, let's skip the cutscene because we've already seen it. Oh, jeez. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, come on, more of these buggers. Never, which one is it? I am low on health. Heal up. Big enough. Meddlesome wretch. This kingdom is by rights mine. Brandon, what is the meaning of this? Tadric, you? But why? After serving us faithfully for so many years. I am no servant. No servant. Not of your mother or father or you. Uh-oh. Cut him up. Chop his head off. Chop off his head. It is so dire. Speak to me. Brandon. My dear, brave Brandon. Am I your princess still? Do you honor your vows even now? Now and ever after, my lady. My sword is yours to command. is well. Would that I had the strength to wield it myself. Steel your heart, brave Brandon, and for the good of Verba and her people. No. No, I cannot. I will not. Honor your vows to your kingdom, to your princess. Oh. To your friend who never doubted you, who knew that you would return and seek justice. No, it should be me. Brandon, my sword, now and ever after. Oh, this is actually fucking heartbreaking. I'm tearing up from this. We rounded up the rest of Tadric's co-conspirators and tossed them in the gaol. Those who hadn't been corrupted by his magics, that is. I'll not hesitate again. No matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. Well, you saw what happened. Wicked wife. She begged him to do it. Like Melinda. Come, let us quit this place and return to Platin. Oh my heart. God, what is with all these sin eaters having tragic backstories? Oh god. Just why? I love Final Fantasy 14, but god damn it, just make me wanna cry. Do you know why I entered into the royal family service many long years ago? Because when I was attacked by a wild beast which nearly tore me to shreds, it was Lady Sordea who came to my rescue. She saved me, and that is a debt that can never be repaid. But there is naught in this world which holds greater value than life itself. Not even her death absolves me of it. And so I must always first consider her wishes, her desires, what she would want for me and her kingdom, from Panther, and yes, even for you, Ransom. For me, to define oneself in opposition to the other, another bereft of complexity, of nuance, wholly devoid of redeeming qualities, a villain. Indeed, there is comfort and certainty in hatred, but it is a false and fleeting comfort, bought with lies we tell ourselves about who we are, what we must be, what we must do, and never you mind the cost, if anything. The more we offer up in sacrifice, the better. Do you not see? Brandon was right to hesitate, to doubt. The unwavering blade cares not whom it serves, nor who it cuts. I think I need a moment. Perhaps you do as well. Leave us for now, Dante. Ranson, I have given you ample time to consider the path that has brought you here, and where it invariably leads all who walk it. I didn't know what to do after I lost Melinda, how to mourn her, how to live. I felt that if I put it all on Dicaiasin, put my everything into the hunt, that at least I wouldn't have to think about myself or what comes next. I wanted to hollow myself out and fill up that hole with hate, forget who I was. And irony of ironies, that's just what the poor bastard tried to do himself a century ago, isn't it? Hard men making hard choices. What? You're right. I don't need the hate. Never did. I'll finish it for Melinda and for Brandon. And then I'll move on. Move on, you say? I can't live off hate. Shouldn't have made it this far, frankly. The more I try to reach for it, the more I find sorrow. Pity? Curse not fate, but mourn her victims. Remember the dead as they lived. Aye, something like that. Reckon Dante would agree. And Melinda, if she were here. Would probably slap me a dozen times and call me a bloody fool for acting the way I have. Or maybe you've been thinking about doing that in her stead, eh? Don't tempt me, grandson. Apologies for treating you with such disrespect before, so I'd like to claim I finally understand what you've been trying to tell me all this time, but I'm still getting my head around it. Recognizing your faults is the first and most important step. I will tell you what I know of the claws of Orthless. The ring, together with the bracelet and choker, were three relics passed down through the royal family over generations, signifying the owner's right to rule. Princess Sordea was the last of her line, and after her death, They were stored in a sanctuary for safekeeping. However, a year ago, a band of thieves learned of its existence. The ones who stole the Fang and Eyes of Orthus. Yes, the relics were concealed with magical wards. I can only presume that once they were spirited away, the Chiasin was then able to sense their presence. Even in death, a slave to duty, you said. You think he pursued the thieves out of an instinct, loyalty to his princess? That I do. After all, he was content to leave them be, so long as they remained hidden. Only 2 of the 3 were taken, then the 3rd is still. Claim the claws of Arthas, and he will surely come for you, yes. Timgius is where you must go. Once you arrive at the place I marked on your map, cast this powder into the air. The glamour will fade and you will see the chest with the ring. The rest is up to you. Thank you, Soul. I promise we will bring your friend peace. With me, sinner. May you find peace as well, child. This is what I love about the Sinida quests. Because, whilst yes, I was thinking of just originally doing one of them. I will admit that. I was originally thinking of just doing one. And it would have been the physical version with friggin' Lurik. But because it gave us backstory on the ones that were calling themselves the Warrior of Darkness in post Heaven's Ward, I figured why not? Let's do all of them, get a backstory for each and every single one. And honestly, I'm glad that I did, because we've gotten to see what they were actually like and what they did during their time before becoming the quote-unquote Warriors of Darkness. And I'm glad that the devs for the game was so consistent with the storyline. Mushroom powder. Where's the ring? This must be the claws of Orthus. All that's left is to decide when and where we want to confront the Eater. Looks like you don't get that choice, mate. Well, we could do with it here and now. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Hey there, old man. I don't know you and you don't know me. But I know your story. I know this isn't you. And I know that if Lady Solday was here, she'd say the same thing. It'll all be over soon, I promise you. The way he's holding that weapon, is he a Dark Knight? That looks like a claymore, which is the Dark Knight's weapon. But I actually wouldn't mind doing Dark Knight a bit. We are doing like jack shit for damage. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ransom is definitely a... Ransom is definitely a Dark Knight. Alright. Hey, man, get into me over here. See? Nope, died. This. Alright, we've seen this. Oh. Let's see if we can beat it this time. Damn it. Still got me? Jesus, okay. That's something that happens no matter what.
yourself up there. Jesus. Come up there. I see you, bud. This is why I'm glad I chose Paladin for this, because I figured that the person I was doing the hunt with was going to need healing. Johnson, get behind him. Oh, that's the tank one done. Whew. An hour 43, Jesus. Damn, Rita, let him go. He's not your bloody puppet. Finally. You watching, Melinda? All the others we've seen of these was a recording inside. Let's see what this one is. What will you have to say for your dying words, Brandon? Now and ever after, Lady Soldier, my sword is yours to command. Brandon? He's still in there? I'll not hesitate again, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. Wait, is he trapped in the memory still? You're wrong, Brandon, that's not what she would want. Let go of your anger, let go of her. You said yourself it's a memory. Come on, dude. That would make me lessen in your eyes, wouldn't it?
to shoulder a burden that need not be mine. No, I will not forsake compassion and love. I will not dishonor your memory. Oh, my lady so dear. He's gone. The 2 relics are back. And with that, the 3 treasures of the royal family are reunited. Now we just gotta find a place to stick them so that no scavenger ever stumbles upon them again. Least we can do for the princess and her knight, am I right? Maybe so. Ooh, we'll have some ideas. Let's head back to Platinum. It is done. Brandon has been laid to rest. You saw us when we arrived. Do you really have to ask? No, I suppose not. Oh, my dear friend, I pray you have found peace. And what of you, grandson? Has the turmoil in your heart subsided at last? Aye, I suppose so. Though to be honest, it felt like I made my peace with him before we even formed. Because you finally saw him for what he was and accepted that truth into your heart. The battle was but an afterthought. Easy for you to say, you didn't have to cross blades with the bloke. By the way, I've brought you some gifts. The 3 royal relics of Robert. When Brandon was safeguarding both the bracelet and the choker. Now it's your turn to look after the whole lot. That's what Lady Sordea and her knight would have wanted, I reckon. Yes, of course. That their souls may sleep soundly forevermore. We shall enshrine these relics for all eternity. Now that that's settled, I suppose we should be on our way. There's a detour I'll have to take, but afterwards, I'd like to speak with you back at the usual spot in the Crystarium. The usual spot? Dude, we've only been there like once, and that was just to meet you there for the first time. Be well, so I think that one has a bright life ahead of him. Few can find the strength to overcome such terrible tragedy, but he did. As have you, on no few occasions, I am sure. It has been a pleasure, Dante. Do visit me should you ever yearn to hear an old fool prattle on and on. Oh, don't tempt me. Might as well just get there via Ethernet. Moment, sinner. Glad to see you made it back safe and sound. Having returned to where it all began, I can't help but think back to when I first came here, thinking only of Decaius and my revenge. I was so wrapped up in my own personal affairs that I didn't realize I was only pushing others away. Ginard was the only one who saw through the facade. It was a perceptive one eye. Took one look at me when I got back and broke into a smile. But enough about him. I've yet to thank you properly, Dante. I owe you so much for sticking with me to the end. Good question. Can't say I feel at home here or in Wright or anywhere else, so I might spend some time on the road. I may not be as skilled as a fighter as you, but I reckon I'm better than most, and there's always someone in need of a reliable sword hand. Melinda would want me to use my talents for a noble purpose, and helping folks in need fits the bill. Knows, isn't that what Brendan and his comrades wound up doing in the end? So, let's not call it goodbye. Let's just say, until the next hunt. I do love this music. Oh, it's just so good. Wherever you go, you find shade, sinner. Oh, this one was actually touching, like really touching. Oh, Quantum. You actually gave us the best emotional questline ever, I think. And I'm honestly glad about it. Right, I shall be back, and we'll get on with the magic DPS once I do so. So just give me a second, folks.
Alright, and I'm back. Alright, now then. Oh, these guys must be waiting for a hunt train of some sort. Right, Saviga is I knew inquisitively. Let me guess, you're standing in front of Civic, bounty hunter non-pavel, because you've a mind to aid me in felling the dread Phonesis. Do I have the right of it? Or do I have the right? You have the right of it. I hate people like this. You can tell I'm gonna hate you. Willing to throw caution to the wind and strike off to do battle with an indomitable foe, eh? And I've got a feeling the two of us will get along just fine. Yeah, I'm gonna hate you. I could tell. Allow me to elaborate. Phoenicius isn't just your run-of-the-mill stray sin-eater. He's one of the nastiest the realm has seen, formed from the remains of one of those gods-down warriors of light. There were 4 of them, all told. Crawled up from the bowels of the deepest hell after being buried for nigh on a century. If the tales are true, people have come to call them the Cardinal Virtues. Before he was transformed into a sin-eater, Phoenicius was none other than Archmagus Neilbert, whose baleful magics were feared the realm over. It's only been a few short years since he first showed up in Armoren. He's already preyed on far too many innocents with his foul sorcery, not keen on seeing their trade routes disrupted. The local merchants have placed a healthy bounty on his head. Of course, I'd like nothing more than to fell the fiend single-handed and claim the entire bounty for myself. Unfortunately, circumstances have dictated that I recruit a companion. That's where you come in. Provided that you could prove to me that you possess the rather specialized set of skills that I require, I promise I'll make it worth your while. Not a bad offer, wouldn't you say? If you fancy yourself up to the task, come find me in Armoren. I need to set off for there shortly. I've got a feeling I'm gonna hate this guy though. He's a bit of a douche. Always comes across that way. Right. Well. At the very least, I do have. God, yeah. Got quite a bit of stuff in my inventory. Yeah, at the very least, I'll be able to use all my skills, I think. Let's see. Which ones will I not be able to use early on? Only Despair, which I don't have, I think. I don't have it equipped on anything. Yeah, I don't have Despair equipped anywhere. Same with Umbral Soul or Xenoglossy. Yeah, I think I'll be good. I can use everything I've got equipped. As fortune would have it, another sin-eater, with our important specimen of Phonesis, of course, has been sighted just to the west of you.
Prove to me you have the skill to back up your words and we'll talk further. Alrighty, so you just had the others. You want me to prove myself, which is fine. After all, going after such a dangerous target, you would expect your partner to be able to do what needs to be done and actually, you know, take care of stuff. Of course it spawns behind me. Nope. Good show, friend. I wasn't sure what to expect from you, but seeing you in battle has left me with little doubt. Seems I found myself a formidable ally. And so I'll extend the offer in earnest. Help me hunt down Phoenicis, and we'll split the bounty down the middle. Well, what do you say? Ah, it's a spirit. There's more you should know before we proceed. Come with me to Mount Souk, my base of operations, and I'll fill you in on the details. Base of operations is in Mount Souk? Are we legit just sticking to armor then here? I mean, I'm not entirely against that, but okay. The thing is, when we be in magic-based DPS, I'm gonna need a chocobo about at some point. I think for a few of these fights. No one was fine with it being a level 70, and I didn't, you know, get put down to like level 70 myself, so I was still level 80. Welcome to Mount Souk, friend. As you can see, it's a bustling trading post frequented by merchants from across the realm. At least it was before Phoenicis showed up and started preying on unwitting travelers. Hence the bounty, you see. The lucrative reward has attracted the attention of one capable bounty hunter after the next, yet the fiend still roams free. You can probably imagine why. Those few who have seen Phoenicis and returned to tell the tales speak of the great horrors they witnessed. Cavernous black holes materializing out of thin air, swallowing everything around them into the abyss. People have taken to calling them the Hollows. Rumour has it that one barely has time to lay eyes on Phoenicis before he summons forth the Hollows, which proceed to consume everything in sight. And I do mean everything. Just the other day, an entire caravan was devoured by the Hollows, leaving only nothingness behind. Mages have postulated that these holes are literally tears in the fabric of our reality, gateways to other worlds, to put it another way. At any rate, suffice to say that the next man to come back from the void will be the first. And yet, there's something odd about it all. Witnesses say that Phoenicis doesn't seem to go out of his way to prey on people or settlements. He simply shambles across the wastes, summoning hollows one after the next, and the destruction follows as a matter of course. Needless to say, drawing too near to the fiend is tantamount to suicide. Even attacks from afar have been all but futile, as Phoenicis simply summons the hollows to consume every incoming arrow. With every conceivable means of attack foiled, even the most savvy bounty hunters have all but thrown up their hands, even though the bounty now stands at some 9 or 10-fold the original amount. I am of a different mind, however. The way I see it, if only there was a way to neutralize the hollows,
We'd more than stand a chance against Phoenicius himself. This is why I require your services. Your easy triumph over the Sin Eater spoke clear. You're a mage of no common skill. If anyone has the arcane knowledge and aptitude to help me figure out a way to defend against the Hollows, it's you. Don't worry, I fully intend to shoulder my share of the burden. So I plan to gather all the information we need before asking you to put yourself in harm's way. And with that, I'd best get to work. Once I've formulated a proper plan of attack, we'll talk again. Until then, I suggest you continue to hone your casting skills. The battle that awaits us will not be an easy one. There you are. Your timing couldn't be better. As luck would have it, a little bird told me that Phoenicius was sighted in the vicinity not long ago. Don't you worry, I have no intention of rushing in like a fool. My plan is to shadow the Sin Eater from afar, but we might observe the Hollows with our own eyes, and formulate a suitable plan of attack. To that end, I procured this mannequin here from a merchant acquaintance of mine at the Crystal. By setting in on Phoenicius' trail, I mean to gauge just how wide of a berth we must keep from the fiend, so as to not be sucked up into the void. Shed no tears for the little fellow, friend. His sacrifice will be the key to our success. And yet, as you can see, he's not quite in the best state of repair. Pray, lend me a hand to procure what we need to get him back on his feet. You're a lifesaver, friend. I just spotted nasty-looking sand-skinned Sibyl lurking about the east of here. I do believe one of their attendants should serve well to put some spring back in the little fellow's step. Snag one for me and I'll see to the repairs. Oh god, someone's at the door. I'll be back. Give me a second, folks. I'm back. Sorry about that. Had a person going around for, because apparently we're going to be having small little elections soon up here for police commission as well as mayor and such. So yeah, they just wanted to know most likely who I would vote for. Hello there, friend. As you can see, our clockwork friend is back in tip-top shape. And since it appears you found us the perfect lookout spot, why don't we get down to work? I'll kindle us a fire. We might be here for a while. Dude, I could legit just use my magic to friggin' kindle us a fire. Oh, B, there's the bastard. Look closely now and hold your gaze. You must witness the sheer horror with your own two eyes. No, we mustn't send out the mannequin too soon. If Renesis sees it, he may very well blast it to bits before it has a chance to investigate the hollows. And there it goes. I'll send the mannequin in to trail him. I'll sit back and enjoy the show. Just as I expected, gone without a trace. Shed no tears for our little friend. Through his sacrifice, we now know just how much distance we must keep from the hollows to avoid being sucked into the void. Now it's our turn. Let's slide you a bit closer and see what we can observe. Mind you, take care not to wander too close, lest you fancy a vacation to a dark, shadowy abyss.
It's as if a shadowy whirlwind rages inside, ready to suck anything and everything into the void. I've seen many a horrific sight in my day, but this sends a shiver up the spine. Let me out. It's so dark in here. Wait a minute, there was a boy in there? No. Why the pale face, friend? You look as if you've seen a ghost. More like heard one. A voice, you say? From inside the hollow? But that's impossible. Is anyone out there? Please, help me. Help me get out of here. Is that a voice? Is someone out there? If you can hear me, please, you must help me. I can't see anything. No road, no trees, not even an aether current to follow. Which way do I go? How do I get out of this place? This voice. What in the God's name is it saying? The voice of a boy, you say? Claims he's lost inside with no aether current to follow. Sounds like he's adrift in the flow. Not unlike what would happen if an aetherite to which one was teleported was destroyed in mid-journey. Wait a minute. What if there was some way you could channel your ether into the void? Might that not allow your etheric form to serve as a beacon of sorts to guide the child back to us? Of course, not that I know how we'd go about that. You reckon you could do just that? I wouldn't even think of asking how. Do your damnedest. Wicked, right. I knew you were no ordinary sinner, but even still you find ways to surprise me. Holy jeez, it actually worked. He's an Elizan as well. Where am I? Well, be damned, there was a child inside. Our little expedition has left us with more questions than answers, eh? But for now, this boy needs our care. Let us carry him back to Mortsuk and find him a warm bed and some nourishment. I've got a feeling Phonesis is watching. With the way he did that pan, I thought maybe we'd see Phonesis at the top of the tower or something. Oh, Christ. The boy's rested now. He is weak, but not wounded, at least as far as I can tell. Needless to say, his presence raises questions. Are there others trapped on the other side of the hollow? If so, might they also be returned to our world alive? There is much we must ask him when he awakes. On another subject, this might be an odd question, but have you ever looked after a child before? I'm trying to remember. I mean, we kinda did. Alongside Alice here.
in Armoring further down, but I don't fully remember. Yes, as a matter of fact. You don't say. In that case, it's all yours. I'm just in front. I can't very well tie you down here for Worry not, I'll manage somehow. I suppose the first order of the day should be to get some food in his belly. He does look terribly pale after all. He thinks I'll go hunting for some meat. No, perhaps I should take it to a physician first. After all, he may be suffering from some ailment inscrutable to the eye. Or maybe I should... damn it all. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Easy, Sarek, easy. Ah, there you are. We happen to know that the boy's awake. Seems to be no worse for the wear, physically speaking at least. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he came from, or just how he managed to get swallowed up into the void. In fact, other than his own name, Taina, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you. He's my half-assed looking with a smile and nary a word of complaint. Yet I reckon he's hurting inside, and badly. We must reunite him with his parents with all due speed. If he even hasn't. I suggested that he go for a stroll around Motsuk in the hopes that the sights might help to jog his memories. Kind of wandered far. Why don't you go check up on him? Why do I have a bad feeling that Taina's about to get sucked into the void again? Maybe not, considering he's right here. Do not tell me. You were the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I feel from you the same warmth that reached out to me when I was adrift in the ether. Well, I'll be damned. The boy's a sharp one. That's not the least of it. The carer who examined him said they could feel great power welling up from within him. Despite his young age, Taina here seems to possess a remarkable command of the magical arts. Perhaps I do, and yet I cannot say. Try as I might, I could recall nothing of who I am, or where I came from. Only the darkness. No need for apologies, boy. You did well just to make it back to us. Speaking of which, can you remember anything at all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? That I remember, or at least I think I do. I recall a vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this is what roused me from my slumber. If the Hollows truly have a gate between worlds, that would mean that someone recently travelled from ours to another, or from another to ours. That's not possible, or is it? You'd be surprised. You know something I don't, friend? Worry not, I won't pry for details. Ah well, no sense racking our brains over matters beyond our comprehension. Let's concentrate on what we can do, namely finding the boy here at home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time. You truly do that? For me? But the two of you have already saved my life. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. It's no burden at all. Besides, if we can figure out just who you are, and where you came from, it just might lead us to the answers we seek. Now let's consider the options. One possibility is that you're an orphan, all alone in this world with not a soul to care for or look after. And yet this seems unlikely. Yes, the mystical powers you possess say otherwise. If you are truly as skilled in magic as they say, then it stands to reason that someone trained you in the art. Who this master of yours is, Whether you were of their blood or simply received their tutelage, this I cannot say. But either way, I'm certain they're worried sick about you. If that truly is so, I would very much like to meet this person too. Well, that settles it then. Let's get down to business. I took the liberty of inquiring around Lord Sook and the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there have been no reports of missing person, which contained his description, which means that we have no choice but to take our search elsewhere. I know of a merchant in town whose travels often take him far afield. Let's have a talk with him and see if he's heard any helpful rumors. Why do I have the feeling that this boy was either... I can't remember his actual name before he became a Sea Eater, so I'll just use his Sea Eater name. Phoenicis' student or relative. Rumor of a missing boy, you say? Funny that you ask. It's a long shot, I reckon, but I overheard something the other day that might be of use. On my way to Mordsook, I stopped over at the inn at Journey's Head. There I met an Aven mage. As the carers told him, he's been ambushed by a Sea Eater and was separated from his child in the battle. Bloody hells, could it be? If the Sea Eater that attacked the poor man was Phoenicis, that would explain everything. This man you speak of, he could be my father? We must go to him at once. Agreed. I only hope that the man is... No. There is no point in presuming the worst. Let us make for the inn, and see what the carers there can tell us. Well, would it be more interesting if it was my line of thinking, but then again that would also be kind of cliche, so yeah. Hold there. I hear there's a mage in your care who's lost his boy. Well, I do believe we have him right here. I fear there must be some mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him right here. Oh. Okay. What? So it wasn't my father after all? This boy with you, he too has been separated from his family? Just so, we heard that a man here was looking for his son and we just hoped. Alas, it seems it wasn't meant to be. But there are many people here, yes? Might I ask around and see if any of the others are my family? But of course, yet many of the people here are quite ill, and in many cases, in considerable pain. It is not a place for a young child to walk around unattended. Indeed it's not. Guess that means either myself or Dante here should accompany him. I'll go with him. The walk might help me, take my mind off things. Not a bad idea, if the lad doesn't mind. I reckon Taylor would rather be with someone of his own age. Take his mind off things. Speaking of which, how is the boy's father holding up? I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He is a man no longer. The child insisted upon staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him. Though part of me regrets the choice, none so young should suffer such horrors.
It was some small solace to learn that he has living relatives who reside at the pissed area. In fact, I was just making preparations to escort him there myself. I see. Reckon we should also find someone to look after Tina as well. Don't get me wrong, friend, I haven't given up on the prospect of finding the boy's family, but we have no other leads, and a deadly sin eater is still on the loose. If the lad tags along with us every step of the way, he's far more likely to end up dead or worse than to ever reunite with his family. Here's what I propose. Find someone to watch Tina for the time being, get back on the hunt, and gather whatever clues we can about his origins along the way. Aye, that goes without saying. Let us have a talk with the proprietor of the Wandering Stairs. He's a kindly enough chap, and knows damn near everyone in these parts. With any luck, he'll be able to direct us to a willing and able guardian. You know what, Civic, you actually turn out to be one of the better of the lot. I actually like you now. Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but it's the best we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry, it's my decision, and I intend to take responsibility for it. Bad news, friend. Seems the two young ones got into a quarrel of sorts and Tana's up and went away. Seems the lad mentioned how he'd come out from one of the hollows. The other boy put two and two together and figured he'd been attacked by a sin eater. And I said my dad was attacked by a sin eater, and then he turned into one himself. So I asked, what if you turn into a sin eater too? Tana's face went all white. He kept saying, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" over and over and over. I couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting at him. Why did I say such a mean and nasty thing? Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Both of you have had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody could blame either of you for feeling a bit on edge. But we must hurry and find Tana before he comes to harm. Split up. I'll search to the west and you take the east, and be careful out there. Maybe we should have let one of the adults go with him. We won't have to worry about this then. Oh jeez. Hell no! You don't get away from me. When I heard the clamor of battle, I feared the worst.
but I see that you have everything under control. Are you okay, lad? Forgive me. I don't deserve this kindness. I was just so scared. I was worried about what would become of me if I never recovered my memories, and then I started thinking, what if I ended up like that boy's father? What if it's already happening to me? That's one matter you needn't worry yourself with. Carer who examined you told me as much. You suffered no direct wounds. You're in no more danger of turning into a sin eater than Dante or me. Is that so? That's good to hear, but I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things, especially after what happened to his father. Funny thing, that he was saying the same thing about you. You both have good hearts, lad, and you've been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed about your feelings. There is still so much I do not understand about this world. Why does no one here know of me? Am I doomed to be alone here for the rest of my days? Why? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember something. Anything. I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone. Oh, there we go. There's a pigeon coming. Now it's your turn, Taina. Do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest of mages have known failure. Your command of magic is the equal of my own. If I can succeed, there is no reason why you cannot. Free your mind of worry and focus. Oh, that's Nilbert as a kid? Oh, Taina, no. Thank you, Nilbert. I shall try my best. He was once a student of magic alongside Nilbert. Wicked White, are you alright there, Dante? I remember now. I was standing here on these blighted plains, my head hung low in shame. Then Nilbert turned to me with a smile and heartening words. So I was right in terms of a connection to Nilbert, I just got the connection wrong. Nilbert. Why does the name sound so familiar? I reckon we've much to discuss, but not in this god's forsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see if we can't get to the bottom of this. Taina, are you alright? I'm
so sorry. I shouldn't have said those nasty things. Forgive me for reacting as I did. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories. Really? That's wonderful. Maybe you won't feel so scared and alone anymore. I'm leaving to go live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come visit? I mean, after you get your memories back and all. Of course. It's a promise. Until next time, my friend.
Wow, you two made up real quick and became friends even quicker. I knew that you two would work things out. Now, let us return to Mordsuk. We have more than our share of questions that need answered. Yes, I'm sure we do. As I saw it, first you fainted all of a sudden. When you came to, a portion of Tana's memories had returned. What in the world happened out there? The power to look into the past, eh? Are you certain that what Dante described matches up with your recollection of the past? Hold on. I don't know how to break this to you, lad, but your friend Neilbert, that was with you that day, he's no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Phonesis, one of those gods-damned warriors of light. If he was just a young child in your memories, that means that what you saw took place over 100 years ago. Would that were just a coincidence? Another boy with the same name, but no. Judging from the formidable command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back, I managed to recall some more about Neilbert and myself. We were taken in by a group of mages, a consortium of sorts. They were searching for a means to open a hole to another world, and were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. Neilbert and myself were the two they chose. You can't be serious. Yet, that would explain the Sin Eater's ability to summon those damned hollows. And if you possess the same knowledge and training as Neilbert did, it could also explain why you were able to survive in there at that time. But what I don't understand is why you haven't aged at all. I cannot say for sure, and yet my memories, they are slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you find a way to close the holes. You'd be a lifesaver if you could, but don't overburden yourself. You're still recovering after all. In the meantime, don't worry. Dante and I will see that you're safe. I thought Taina was just a victim of the Sin Eater. To think he was actually friends with the man himself. back when he was still a man. This can't be a simple coincidence. Yes, I'm convinced of it now. The child holds the key to defeating Phronesis. We must keep him safe and not let him out of our sights. Besides, look at how hard he's trying to recover his memories. I'm not so heartless as to kick the poor lad aside before he's figured matters out. But we can't very well rush things. You and I will continue to prepare for the battle ahead, while waiting for the rest of Tana's memories to come back to him. That is to say, if it's alright with you, lad. I'm sorry. I couldn't possibly burden you any further. Look, lad, I've only known you for a short while, but I can tell you've got a good heart, and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears and uncertainty you face even now. But I want you to promise me this. No more apologies. You're no burden to us, not in the least. You're a valuable member to our band. As long as you're willing, I want you with us. Isn't that right, Dante? I see. Thank you, Cedric. Thank you, Dante. I will aid your quest in whatever way I can. Now that's more like it. Counting on you, lad. Good news, friend. Dana here has told me that his memories are starting to come back to him. There's one recollection in particular he says he's eager to discuss with the two of us. Tell us, lad, what is it? As time goes by, my memories of my earlier days return to me piece by piece. Njolbert and I were born to members of a great consortium of mages. From our earliest years, we were tutored in the magical arts by some of the realm's greatest scholars. The consortium's leaders sought to find a way to open a hole in time and space, a portal to other worlds from which they could summon forth beasts of great power. Njolbert and I were chosen to participate in the research. Summoning great beasts from beyond our world. You're a mage, Dante. Is that even possible? Oh god, yeah, maybe he's speaking of the Voidson. Voidson? Never heard of him, but I'll take that answer as a yes. Mages come up with the damnedest ideas, eh? And yet, I don't understand. Why ever would they use two young boys for such a dangerous experiment? The beasts our masters sought to summon reside in the planes most distant from our own. Reaching across such a great distance requires a tremendous store of innate ethereal power. And so our masters set about to breed the perfect... Seriously, breed? The perfect mage. Marriages were arranged to wed the mightiest members of the consortium to one another, in hopes that they would bring forth children of their heretofore unheard of magical aptitude. Finally, they succeeded. That's really friggin' weird. Seriously? This consortium of mages decided to do arranged weddings just to breed and make a child with unfathomable ethereal power. God almighty, it's like My Hero Academia, where some people would try to breed just for the sake of having a child with mutated powers that would exceed their parents and become extremely powerful. God, that's so weird. Oh, why? And so you were born, and Njolbert. Indeed,
From even before we could speak, we were taught the complex incantations required to breach the boundaries between worlds. We practiced these spells day after day, night after night for what seemed an eternity. At long last, we were deemed ready to attempt the summoning. Let's see how that went. Sadly, the experiment ended in failure. The pull from beyond the rift was too strong to resist, and I was sucked into a hollow of my own creation. And I remained trapped, alone and adrift in the empty void, until Dante called me back to this world. Alas, over a century had passed since that fateful day. That's the other thing I still don't understand. If so many years have truly passed, why is it that you have not aged even a whit? I cannot say for certain, but I remember the words of one of my teachers. The rift is not unlike a border between countless worlds, a place that exists beyond time and space. If it is true that the rift exists outside of our concept of time, then it is all too possible that even seconds spent in that empty pocket could correspond to months, years, or decades in our world. And so you return to us just as you were that day, even while over a century has passed for the rest of us. But why didn't your word save you? It shouldn't have been as simple as opening up another portal to the void where you were trapped. I fear that would be close to impossible. Opening the portal and reaching as far into the rift as we did required all of our energies to be focused in unison. So in losing you, not only did Neobird lose his friend, he lost his only chance at saving you. Talk about being dealt a rough hand. Fear not, I have good news to share as well. I do believe I've managed to record the incantations needed to summon and manipulate the hollows. Summoning beasts from beyond the rift is far beyond my powers, but I just might be able to seal up the hollows for Nisus, so enjoy summoning. What say you, friends? Shall I give it a try? Oh, now that's music to my ears. Let's not be too hasty. After all, the last time we tried to use this magic, there were some complications, to say the least. Yes, we must take the necessary precautions before confronting Phoenices in earnest. Let us meet outside the village, where Athena can test out his magic safe from harm. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Wicked White, you did it, lad. Sadly, I have not the strength to reach further beyond, nor keep the portal open for more than a few moments. No, I will need further training before I can face. Phoenices, where the hell did that bastard come from? Damn it all, I'm too close. I can feel it pulling me in. No, Neobird, these are my friends. You mustn't hurt them.
Damn, you actually shrunk it, kid. I'm impressed. God damn. This isn't good. The cave is completely sealed off the tunnel behind us. We've no recourse but to press on without our companions. You heard her. What'll it be? I suppose it forces us to slay the beast and collect the bounty. Perhaps you and your band would care to take the lead? Huh, spare me your japes, you've no intention of giving up your prize. Mind you, I too made a promise to my companions, a promise I mean to keep. I told you that splitting up was a bad idea. If Brendan and Vandervey were here, this second-rate spellcaster would be no match for us. Now, Silver, let's not forget who our true foe is here. Let me, you're certain that if we slay this monstrosity, the cave-ins will cease? According to the miners, the beast was first sighted on the same day the tremors began, its very presence sucking the mountain dry of its ether. We dwarves know these caves as well as we know our bodies. Trust me. I suppose we'd best make short work of it before everything comes crashing down. Hey, where do you think you're going? My apologies. I took your ceaseless prattling as an invitation to proceed on my own. Think yourself clever, do you? You've uncommon confidence to think you can fell the beast without aid. Answer me this, why is it you are so intent on claiming this bounty on your own? The bounty? Why indeed? At any rate, unless you've a mind to stand around here until we all get crushed, we'd best be moving on, yes? Finally, something we can agree on. So I have a proposal. We'll say we band together until our battle here is won. The tremors grow stronger, no doubt a cave-in is imminent. Let us vanquish the enemy with our combined strength and quit this place before it becomes our tomb. Until the battle is won. After that I go my own way. So I wonder why we don't see Silver. Ooh, all the wrong gun stuff. Would seem we're not the only ones stuck in here, eh? I have a bad feeling about this. this? It leads deeper within? We really should have asked for a map. Not that that'd be much use after all occasions. Well, aren't you a big boy? What did you have to say though? Oh. Now that's something. Still think you could have managed on your own, mate. Perhaps it would have been more of a struggle than expected. God, I can see those two fighting quite a bit. That's him. He's the one who drinks of the mine's ether. Alright, let's put this oversight bull out to pasture. Silver, let me magic on yours. The electrocution. Sorry, just moving the mic a bit so I can listen on for the console while midnight talking with head. Considering it'll be coming soon. Duty complete.
Here we are.
We've done it. Now, to find ourselves a way out. The tremors continue. But why? The fiend has been vanquished and I see the return to the mountain. I've got a feeling that's not actually the case. We were wrong. No, it was not the creature itself that was causing the quakes. Ah yes, the crystal courses with nigh inconceivable power. A vast wellspring of ether accumulated over the ages. Yes, the beast was but a hungry creature drawn here by the stone, as was I. You had no interest in the bounty all along. The stone has been left unchecked for too long. The sheer volume of ether it houses now so vast and overwhelming, it threatens to bring the entire mountain down. For how many years have I searched for this precious relic that could afford me the power needed to save my friend? You mean to take the stone from this place? But then, what would happen to the mountain? If the ether is not returned to the earth, it is but a matter of time until the mine collapses. The miners, those who live at the foot of the mountain, countless lives would be lost. There's no time. What can we do? Taina, my friend. Damn it! Damn it all! The tremors have stopped. Taina, pray forgive me. I promise you this, as long as I walk this earth, I shall never give up hope. Ah, so he received the dark crystal. Or the thunder one, I should say. I think. Stone was yours to do with as you pleased, and still you chose the fate of many over that of your friend. In return for your sacrifice, I would make you an offer. Come with us and let us join you in your search for a means to save your comrade. The life of an adventurer isn't an easy one, but I dare say you strike me as the sort who might just enjoy it. So what say you? We'll travel the realm together and lend our strength to whatever unfortunate souls we encounter along the way. And who knows, before you know it, we might just stumble upon a way to rescue your Taina. I would like that very much. Taina, forgive me. I may have failed you today, but mark my words. For as long as I walk this land, I will not abandon hope.
I will find a way to bring you back to us. But today I find myself in the company of new companions, and for now I must lend them my strength, just as they lent theirs to me. Dante, are you alright? Where did he go? Why not? Phoenicis is long gone. I launched a few arrows in its direction while I was distracted by Taina's spell, and it just stole away. Anyhow, I'm just glad you're awake and on your feet again. Come now, let's hurry back to Mordsuk before the bastard has a change of heart and comes back for us. You really gave us a scare back there, clutching your head in pain with a deadly sin eater in plain sight. Let me guess, you had another one of your visions, didn't you? Why take me? So that's how Neilbert and Ardbert made up. Just goes to show you that in times of crisis, even the bitterest of rivals can turn fast friends. Now let's see if I have this straight. Neilbert made it his life's mission to save Taina here. Knowing that his own energies wouldn't suffice, he went in search of a relic that would afford him the etheric power he needed to reach beyond this world. And deep in the mines that day he found it, yet in the end he decided to sacrifice the stone and his own cause to save the lives of the countless innocents who called the mountain home. And so did he take his first step down the path of a hero, a warrior of light. So that's why he came back to this place, where he still summons the hollows, as he did so many years ago. Aye, there could be no doubt in it. Even now that he's become a sin eater, bereft of memory, reason, and any sense of his own actions, the ghastly shell of what was once Neilbert still haunts the wastelands, searching for a way to bring back his old friend. I only knew him as a child, and the whole idea of sin eaters and warriors of light, it was all so new to me. Even as the pieces came together, I could not truly believe that Neilbert and this Phoenicis were one and the same. But when our gazes first met, standing out there in the wastes, in an instant I knew without question. This was my friend, a friend who had been searching for me for all these years. At last I know what I must do. I must stop Phoenicis, that my dear friend may finally find peace. Thank you, my friends. In the battle I was able to push Phoenicis' hollow away from Sarig, if only for a short distance. With more training, I'm certain I can learn to close them up entirely. After all we've seen from you, I've no reason to doubt you. If you're game, so are we. Finally, some cause for hope, eh? But still we must exercise caution. The last time the boy worked his magic, our foe showed up faster than you can save Phoenicis. While this might be simple coincidence, the likelihood is high that the casting of the spell itself summoned the Sin Eater to us. We best avoid casting any similar incantations until we're prepared for the final confrontation. incantation. I want you to stay close for now. Devote yourself to your studies and hone your skills to whatever degree you can in the safety of the village. In the meantime, Dante and I will redouble our training efforts as well. Should we succeed in finding a way to counteract the Hollows, it will come to our firepower versus our foes. We must be at full strength for the battle, lest we allow victory to slip between our fingers. Look in your eyes. Yes, I can see that you have gained much strength since last we met. You'd be pleased to hear that Tana has managed to make steady progress in his training as well. The boy believes he has regained much of the knowledge and skill he possessed by getting sucked into that pocket of time and space. An admirable feat, considering that it was not long ago that he could scarcely remember his own name. And yet there is one aspect of his training that has yet to be addressed. Put simply, the boy lacks experience in battle. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that we're about to just go ahead and find a place for us to give him some experience in battle. Yeah. I'm off to Lakewood for it. No. At least there we don't need to worry about Venitas showing up, because he seems to just stick around the wastelands. Oh, got a rabid wolf, have we? Hello, ugly. That was incredible, the sheer destructive power of his spells, the way you seamlessly weaved one incantation after the next. Everything. But tell me, what would you say is the most important thing a mage should keep in mind when doing battle with a fearsome foe? Ah, but of course. Thank you, Dante. I will endeavor to put everything I have learned from you into practice. Well, here goes nothing. I'd say that was some solid advice. Yes, blast your foes with everything you've got, but at the very least make sure you do your spells. Things clearly aren't going the cartoony sound effects as well. Jesus Christ. Oh. Ooh, Taina. Did not have the best of times there, huh? Yeah, you simply need more practice in fighting. That's pretty much it. Another rabbit wolf. Again, the cartoony sound effects. Well, at least he did it by himself though. Now that's how you wallop a wolverine. Don lad, I'm proud I could be here for your first victim. You're far too kind. I couldn't have done it without you and Dante here to show me the way. You have my thanks. But don't let up now, boy. You must keep battling until all that you've learned becomes second nature. Are you ready? Dana's gonna be going through quite a bit then. Alrighty, time for the final quest of the last series, huh? I think after this I'll probably end off because I'm starting to get a slight headache. Plus my parcel's coming soon, and that once it is done, once it is here, I can start to sort out the Christmas present for my partner.
Damn, I'm glad I unlocked this back area. Jesus. I guess this would have been a bit of a block if I didn't have this back area. We kind of know how it works. What's the matter? You don't like another caster or something? Ow. You really don't like me, huh? Alright, let's try and use the hollows to my advantage. See if I can get this thunder into it. do bring them here. Man, you really don't want me to cast some spells, huh? Making me move about so much. Whew. That was a pain in the ass just due to all the moving about. What the hell? Oh, my neck is stiff after that. Oh, I'm gonna have to have some food and take a painkiller. That's pain. Forgive me, Taina. Far and wide did I travel with my companions, all the while searching for a way, anywhere at all, to bring you back to this world. And yet, in the end, it was all in vain. Though I treasured the adventures I had with Ardbert and the others,
My choice that fateful day forever haunted me. What if I had run off with the stone and used its powers to rescue you, as I had always intended? What adventures might we have shared? I sunk into the depths of despair, felt myself a wretch for doing so. For by what right do I pity myself, when it was I who consigned you to far more cruel and tragic a fate? Whatever pain, whatever loss I knew is nothing compared to what you suffered, what you still suffer. Abandoned by your only friend, cast adrift into a cold, dark void until the end of time. Yes, no doubt you are still out there beyond the rift, cursing my name to this very day. That's not true, Neobert. I'm right here. And yet, even if you despise me with every fiber of your being, even still, I would give anything to see you just one last time. You could curse me, revile me, rain fists and magics down upon me. It would all be worth it just for the chance to say, I am sorry. I'm fucking tearing up again. Why'd I save the two most emotional ones for last? God damn it, I'm actually crying. Just like with the tank one. Jesus Christ. Ah. God, I really did save the last two for the emotional ones, didn't I? Right, you can bugger off. Right. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, I'm happy to report that the tales of our triumph are already spreading across town like wildfire. Word has it the merchants are so grateful that they intend to sweeten the bounty with a generous personal reward. My friends, I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, Neilbert has found peace, and I can finally close the book on this chapter of my past. Every day I thank the gods for having brought us together. The feeling's mutual, lad. To be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect when you popped out of that hole. But it's been a pleasure having you at our side. So tell me, now that you've made peace with your past, what do you plan to do with your future? You and Dante have trained me well, and I'm quite confident that I can hold my own on the battlefield. Perhaps I will travel the world and see if I might use my ability to help those in need. If I didn't know any better, I'd think those were the words of someone twice your age. If that's truly your intention, then I have something of a plan. First, I'll need Dante Hugh's permission. It's just a thought I had, but I'll say we give the lion's share of the bounty to Tainer here. I reckon he needs it more than we do. And besides, we couldn't have won the battle without him. But of course. I knew you'd feel the same. It's the least we can do to help the boy forge a path and a future for himself. My friends, I could never take advantage of your kindness like that. Think nothing of it. It's not easy for a boy your age to make his way in the world. And this is the least we can do. Think of it as a parting gift from your brothers in arms. Thank you, Seg. Thank you, Dante. As long as I live, I will never forget your generosity. Finally, I have one last proposal for you if you're keen to hear it. There's this bounty hunter I know. He can hold his own with a bow, but he's always thought he could take on bigger marks if he had a skilled mage at his side. If you're looking for a partner, that is. Civic, you could not possibly mean. Of course I'm saying it. So what'll it be? Yes, 1,000 times yes. Why, nothing would make me happier. And I suppose that settles it. Welcome aboard, lad. I've got a feeling that this is only the beginning of a rewarding relationship. And on that note, I do believe my new partner and I are off to the Quistarium to find ourselves a new mark. It's not too much to ask, why don't you join us there? I still owe you your share of the bounty, and I reckon it'd be a good place to say our proper farewells. Glad you could join us. Taylor and I just arrived a short while ago ourselves. The boy's keen on starting his new life as a bounty hunter, to say the least. He's got no end of questions, that one, but there's always so much I could teach him. I still have to learn from experience. And so I intend to do what I can to show him the world. Keep him safe. So don't worry about us. Between my bow and his magics, I reckon we'll be able to hold on. We'll be able to hold our own on that. That said, should we ever find ourselves on the trail of a particularly nasty foe, I hope you'd not be averse to lending us your strength once more. Yes, somehow I have a feeling it won't take another 100 years for our paths to cross now. Until then, friend, stay sheltered in the shade. So, I have done all of the Sinita quest lines. Now, if I was to rank them, I'd say the magic DPS one is definitely up there. It's definitely the best one, due to the amount of emotions I can cause. I'd say tank is just a slight bit below,
again due to the emotions and seeing the backstory of Brendan, going from a humble knight to a man of conviction. And then the healer one, again seeing Lilith basically do what she did to save her sister and many of the others, to then just be casted out and such. Bit of a weird way to defeat her, that's for certain, by putting a helmet on her, but you know, needs must. And then lastly would have to be Vendor Whitley. Mainly because hers wasn't as emotional. Don't get me wrong, she had a tragic backstory just like the rest, but not as tragic. And then having to deal with Louis Reek constantly going back and forth on whether we're just there for the sake of the money or there for being actual friends with him it got a bit frustrating. Like, I understand, Jesus Christ, that got frustrating. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the best order I could put them in terms of how in terms of how good they were, in terms of how emotional they made me, as well as just how good the story was for those quest lines in general. But I'm going to turn things off here due to my headache, and I shall see you all next time, where we will be getting back to the story of Shadowbringers, and we'll be able to take on Vorthy and unlock the Tempest, maybe even finish off Shadowbringers. Until then, though, I